Well, what'd they say? They said to wait outside and come up with a new name.
New name?
The hearses.
The Undertakers?
The Stiffs.
It's got to be something forbidden, you know? Something that everyone wants, but no one can have.
You guys come up with a name for yourselves yet?
The Temptations.
We are starting off with this TV show about the Temptations called The Temptations.
The way you do the things you do. The way you do all day.
This is a TV show that came out in 1998, and it's kind of like a 2-episode TV show where each episode is essentially like the length of a movie. So you get 2 movies worth of The Temptations. And I just finished watching part 1 or episode 1, and y'all, I will say going into this, I did not know much about The Temptations. Like, I knew their songs. They have some of my favorite Christmas songs. They have so many like classic songs that my parents would play on like repeat growing up and that I still enjoy to this day. Like, I just know them about the music. I didn't know anything about the members of the group, who was even really in the group, the name of the people. And this TV series, just episode 1, first off, it is so good. Like, y'all, there's drama, there's love, there's just the plot of like learning the characters, and it's good. Episode 1, I'm so excited to go into episode 2. But the thing I did not know, I knew later how like Temptations like went through a bunch of members, and I thought that was just something when they started touring and like started needing new members because a lot of the older members passed away. But no, this first episode, they have already went through 3 different members of the group. Like, initially the Temptations started off as another group, and it had like, it's always been like 5 members is a big thing. 2 of the members of the original group, they didn't think that they were going anywhere. They're like, this is a waste of time. Like, we need to focus on jobs that will get us money. So they leave. And there just so happened, like, we get introduced in this TV series as well to Diana Ross, and like Diana Ross and the Supremes is who they become. But at the time, they were the Pipettes. And they were playing with this boy group called Pipes, I think. I think it was the Pipes and the Pipettes. And the 2 members of the Pipes ended up breaking up the group. And so these 2 members joined the Temptations. And then you had one OG member named Al. He was just fed up with how slow they were getting famous, how slow they were making hit songs. So he's like, I can't do this anymore. So he gets fired from the group. So that's already 3 members down, y'all. So he gets fired from the group. And then they bring in this guy named David Ruffin, who is the younger brother of this singer, Jimmy Ruffin. And so they bring him into the group, and he's like one of the main Temptations voice that you hear in songs, like My Girl. He like sings the lead in that, but was like the lead vocalist for a lot of the big known Temptation songs we know. And so he just pretty much got an ego, and he was like, we need to rename the Temptations David Ruffin and the Temptations. And the group is like, we're not doing that. And so how they ended this episode 1 is they end up firing him because he hasn't been showing up to rehearsals. He was just getting an ego. He was showing up late to stuff. Like, there was this one scene where they finally got Temptations were finally making a step in performing in front of like non-segregated groups, so in front of like white people and black people. And so they were ready to perform. David Ruffin doesn't show up. And so there just happens to be like this guy named Flynn. No one knows who Flynn is. They don't really give you much detail, but he's like, I'm David Ruffin's manager. And he's like, he's only going out if y'all rename the group David Ruffin and the Temptations. And they're like, we're not doing that. So the 4 guys go out and they're performing, they're singing a song. And then David Ruffin shows up as they're singing. And so his manager, Flynn, has them turn the spotlight on David Ruffin as he's walking, as these guys are singing. So no one's even paying attention to them singing their song. And it's just him, and he goes and he like sings, and y'all, it's why there's so much drama in this. And I don't know how accurate this is. I will say that. I honestly do not know. I knew that they were group replacements, but this has just been so much in the first episode about this group, and is wild. Yeah, so David Ruffin, fired, gone. That's how we ended first episode. One of the OG members, Otis, is kind of like this story is being told from his perspective a little bit. And so we're learning about him, and he's like cheating on his wife. He's like just not being faithful, and he has kids. Like, he's wild in himself. And I don't know, I kind of like learning about like the different side characters and kind of just seeing where they are, because I didn't know anything about the Temptations. So this show so far is wild. I do feel like there's this scene in this first episode where basically it's David Ruffin, Mel, who is like the guy who sings the bass, but they call him Blue. So, you know, like in Silent Night, his Holy Night. Like, that was so so bad. But he like sings he's the deep voice, the bass. And so Elle and Otis go to David's house, and basically they're trying to like tell him he needs to be better as a band member. Like he's doing drugs, he's doing all types of stuff he should not be doing. And so David Ruffin is not happy with that. He's like, "What you gonna tell me, Otis?" Like it's this line where I feel like I've heard it before, and I didn't realize it came from this Temptations show, but I've heard it and I just never put it together until I was watching it, and I was like, oh my goodness, that's where this is from. And also in this TV series, like usually I don't talk about actors and actresses, I just talk about the characters, but I will say in this show it has so many good people in it, so many actors, so many actresses who are still in stuff today, and they are just bringing the characters alive. I'm so invested in this. I had never seen it before. I am really, really enjoying this experience because it's letting me learn more about the Temptations and kind of like the behind the scenes, because I just knew the music, I just knew the songs, I knew the group, but I didn't know the details. And after I finish watching this series, I will be doing like a little video about the Temptations, you know, just to kind of compare to what has been popping up on the actual show. So y'all need to watch this with me because I'm so invested. I'm kind of sad it's only 2 episodes, but maybe 2 episodes is all we need because a lot has happened in this first episode already. And like it's just so many people that get brought in. You have Smokey Robinson. I didn't realize how big of an impact he had on Motown and that he was writing songs back in the day, and he just had such a big part. Then you got Berry Gordy, who is basically like the creator of Motown, and you know, Diana Ross made her appearance. You just have so many people that I think are so cool that they're all tying into this world because they had a big part back in the 1960s when the Temptations were becoming a big deal and kind of like getting their moment in the sun and everything. So yeah, this is fun. I'm enjoying this. I do not know where episode 2 of this series is going to take me, but let's continue on. Okay, I'll see y'all for my next video.
This has been another episode of Real Talk with Noelle.